Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Playful Escape podcast. My name is Kimberly,
And my name is Cindy.
and we are your hosts. Today, Cindy wants to take over the podcast and start talking a little bit about the holidays. The fact that this podcast will be coming out the week before Thanksgiving. We should be helping you all prepare for Thanksgiving, and we're going to talk about how this pandemic is probably going to affect us as well.
I don't think we're going to help you with Thanksgiving. I'm just going to say that from the start. We're not going to give you any cooking advice. We can't help with that. Sorry. But I did want to start by discussing how, for example, how our holidays are going to change. Let's see. So, I guess let's start by saying how we used to spend Thanksgiving and likely how we're going to spend it now, and then that will lead us into the next following holiday. So for us, our family, we always used to spend it with our mom's side of the family because they're all really close by. We used to visit our grandparents and have a Thanksgiving dinner. And this past year, it was my first year away from home, really. Although we had family gatherings and stuff, and I would show up or things like that. This was the one I remember that drive over there, and it's usually a little bit far away from us. But this past Thanksgiving, it was snowing for us. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we were all the way in the area at our grandparents, and it was snowing on the way there. It was snowing on the way back home, and the freeway that we were on was stopped because it was so iced over. It was difficult for us to properly be able to get home safely. And it was really interesting because halfway through the ride home, the snow started turning into rain and it started melting. So by the time we got home, we dealt with rain. So it was really fascinating, and I was scared.
Yeah, it was a dangerous drive. I will say that much. So yeah, but I guess in a way I wanted to start. I've already said that we spent Thanksgiving at our grandparents'. That's a usual occurrence for us. We all gathered at my grandparents' house to have a Thanksgiving dinner, and it was your basic Thanksgiving dinner with the turkeys and chicken because some people don't eat turkey, and ham and stuff like that, with all your basic sides like mashed potatoes, macaroni, your greens and stuff. All that in Thanksgiving is what we had. But what is most likely going to happen this year is none of the people in our household actually eats turkey.
No.
So we're not going to have the Thanksgiving dinner that we usually have. And it seems like our mom is planning on making pozole, which is like
It's a stew.
yeah, it's just like a stew. It's a Mexican stew. And I'm okay with that. I like my mom's food, so it's fine. We all eat it. But like my sister was saying, it's like, but then we're not gonna have a Thanksgiving dinner with our macaroni, with our mashed potatoes. And I'm like, we don't even eat turkey, so what does it matter?
I wanted the chicken, the macaroni, and the mashed potatoes. That's all what I get every Thanksgiving. I would just grab myself a turkey leg or turkey breast, a little piece of turkey, a piece of chicken, and make sure I have mashed potatoes with gravy, the baked macaroni and cheese, and a roll of bread, and I'm set, and I'll go back for seconds. But I know that the mashed potatoes and the macaroni and cheese are the first things to go because everyone eats that regardless of how picky you are.
Yeah, that's true. I, as of lately, have been making macaroni every Thanksgiving. My own, like, I don't want to say from scratch because not exactly. You get boxed pasta and, you put the ingredients together. But I have been making baked macaroni and cheese, from a recipe we found online. And I mean, obviously, I modify it a little bit because, you have some preferences. So you take some things out, or you add more of something. And I used to only really make it to give it to Simon's family because I would also spend Thanksgiving at their place. But we realized that we really like our macaroni. And sometimes when our family says that they're going to make macaroni, they just make boxed macaroni. Like Kraft's macaroni and cheese, which is fine. People like it. It's just not what I want when I have Thanksgiving dinner, because I do make my own macaroni like every year for the past couple of years. So I was like, nope, I need a different I need a different macaroni.
Do you remember the year where the macaroni they made was originally burnt? That they had to make the macaroni all over again right before we showed up?
No, I don't remember when that was. I didn't
Th-
know. It also could be that that was a Thanksgiving that I didn't show up with you guys, because I would go with Simon's family. So I didn't know that. But no, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I think it was the year before last year where grandma went to the relative's house. They didn't want to
Oh,
leave
is
their
that
home.
why they had that Kraft's macaroni? Because I only saw that there was Kraft macaroni. I didn't know what happened.
Apparently, either someone just said they were going to make it and they didn't make it at all, or they decided to rest and grandma went to their house with her turkey or her food in hand and saw that no macaroni was made and rushed to make the boxes of macaroni because I guess that's what they were planning on making.
Oh, I didn't know.
But we should also mention that the Thanksgiving we have, not one particular family makes all of these things. We have a potluck style Thanksgiving where everyone brings in a dish of some sort, whether it is a side dish complementing the main dish and a dessert. So for us, we opted to do the macaroni and cheese every year because we knew that we liked it.
Well, we tried every year. That year that the boxed macaroni was made, I was gonna offer to make it again, but somebody had already called it. I think the only thing we ended up bringing was like desserts.
And I think mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah, that's true. But like for example, for us when we have dinner, like if we have Thanksgiving, it would be pretty easy for us to be like, okay, mom's going to cook the chicken, I'll cook the macaroni and you cook the mashed potatoes. You know what I mean? It's not that strenuous for us. And I know it could be a little different for different households, but they also have multiple people that could do the cooking and everything. It's just I find that for us we're pretty good at managing it, and it's like pretty simple, like because obviously I have to do stuff to bake it, and then so I could very easily start a little bit sooner than you would have to, or you can put the potatoes to boil while I'm cooking my food. And so it's not like we're on top of each other, whereas opposed to if you have to make a turkey and a pie, those are both using the oven. You know what I mean? And it depends on the type of chicken my mom would want to make, whether or not she would need the oven. So those are our Thanksgiving dinners usually. This year we are, like I said, most likely going to make pozole, which is just like the stew. It's well, to me, I think it's easier because we don't all have to be in the kitchen. It's a little harder on mom because she's the only one making it. I don't know. It's a little sad to think that we're not going to do the usual setup where we get to see our family and everything. But at the same time, we've had a recent baby being born. And you know, when babies are born, you're not supposed to associate them with people because they would also, they're more susceptible to illnesses. So I would say that that would have also been a conflict because that's basically the household we would have to go to. So we might not, even then, we might not have our usual Thanksgiving dinner, but it could be at any other family member's house, which we have done in the past to eat Thanksgiving dinner. But I don't know. I usually find that Thanksgiving as of lately has not been the same. I don't know if it's because I usually spend my Thanksgiving, say, with Simon's family for a little bit and then with our family, or just our family, or just Simon's family. So for the past couple of years, it's been a little different for me. And I mean, I personally remember when our Thanksgiving was very much so where we all spent time together, even if it was just sitting at the table talking. Or later, what we used to do also is this is the same family we usually spend Christmas with, and we would decide whose house we would be going to Christmas for, and also the method of gift giving we would choose. So, like, if we were gonna do just a pure, like, what is it? Secret Santa, where we
Mhm.
exchange names and stuff, or like a white elephant, or if everyone was just getting gifts.
Or we've also done a case where one family would get gifts for a different family household and they only focus on getting gifts for that family too. But
Did we do that? I don't remember.
I feel like that was a thing.
That's a good idea, I think, but I don't think that
Yeah.
I don't think we've done that.
Oh, maybe I think we had thought about it because there's one one household that has 10 people in the house.
Yeah.
So in that case, we would break it up into smaller,
Mhm.
I guess, houses. But then we would feel bad at the same time because one family of, say, 4 people have to deal with a family of 10 people while everyone else is doing families of just 5. So it was a bit of an odd balance there.
That's a good point, but I do think that's a good idea.
Since you have been missing out on a couple of the Thanksgiving, I have attended most of those Thanksgivings as well.
Mhm.
In the beginning, I did notice a slight change when I started dating. I would also spend Thanksgiving with the significant other I was with, and I don't know about you, but I always felt kind of homesick when I left. Even though I was maybe around the corner, I kind of felt like I missed being with my family on Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah, I do get that. I would always tell Simon how not to like say anything bad about his family because it's not at all that. It's just I'm so accustomed to spending my Thanksgiving with everybody and not just my immediate family. And his Thanksgiving was mainly his immediate family. Even though his siblings are older and out of the house, they would get together to spend Thanksgiving together. But I will say, what I've noticed is our family is very close knit together with our mom's side for right now, I would say at least, which is why we've had these Thanksgiving dinners more recently with all of us together, and our family just keeps growing. We've had 3 new babies pop up. And I mean, it's not like unexpected. You know, these people have been together and everything, which is fine. It's just, it's been a while since there's been like a newborn baby. And now there's 3 younger children now in this family. And the unfortunate thing is that we haven't really gotten to know these kids because we haven't
Mm.
been able to spend time with them because of this pandemic, as well as it's just a little harder now. I don't know if it's our lives or their lives that we're just all in different places and we're not able to spend time with them and see them or these kids grow up. But it is nice to see them when we do see them.
Yeah, it really is. I would like to mention that the reason we spend Thanksgiving with our mom's side of the family and we continue having that is because we have a family reunion with our dad's side of the family. And the first family reunion, it was either the weekend before Thanksgiving because that's when everyone also had time to be able to gather around, or it would be the month right before Thanksgiving as well. Either it was closer to our grandfather's birthday or just because that was what seemed to work for everyone else. So there would be times that we would spend an entire weekend right before Thanksgiving with our dad's side of the family, go to work for 2 or 3 days or go to school for 2 or 3 days because we had to. And then right after that, spend all of Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving evening with our mom's side of the family. Because I do remember that.
I don't remember the exact date that we used to have our family reunion. I do know that it has changed. I can kind of remember it being sometime in either October or November, but it after our grandfather passed away is when it was changed.
Yes,
I do know that.
I was about to say, prior to the death of our grandfather, it was in November, the weekend before Thanksgiving.
I don't remember that. I don't remember
After
when it was.
after he had passed away, we changed it to October because it was closer to
False.
his day.
We changed it to July initially, but that was only for 2 years.
No, we changed it much later to July after we had a second death in the family, and they both happened to be in July.
I don't I don't think that's right.
Yes. I can bring it up. We can confirm this with mom and dad later.
No, I mean that's fine. I do know there was a death in July, but I remember spending the 4th of July with our families because our grandfather passed away on the 4th of July.
Yes, but it wasn't right after he had passed. Initially, it was in October because they wanted to celebrate his life, the day of when he was born. And then they realized that it was a little bit difficult to do it in October, so they moved it to the 4th of July. Maybe a couple years after that, because that's when everyone was able to not focus on school, because the biggest concern was that there were so many children in the family reunion in the family that they couldn't just take days off because they wanted to make the reunion a longer than just a Saturday and a Sunday. They wanted to make it a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's why they moved it to the weekend of the 4th of July.
Yeah.
But then later they changed it a week or two earlier, so it's now in late June. There's this whole thing. We won't get more into that. But I do remember us being able to balance dad's side of the family and mom's side of the family for the holidays at that time. Of course, it's changed, but we come up with a different tradition.
Right. So, like I said, we're going to have a different Thanksgiving, which to me, I don't want to say it makes me feel homesick because, like you were saying, that when you spent time away from your family, you felt homesick. Yeah, I agree. I would get that. And I was just so used to having like all my family around that that's probably why I felt that way. It just, it didn't feel like Thanksgiving to me if I didn't spend time with my family, even if it was not the same length of time, just being there like for a few minutes or hours. But for whatever reason, as of lately, even though I would spend most of my Thanksgiving with our family, it hasn't felt the same because consumerism, honestly.
I want to agree.
Everybody wants to go Black Friday shopping, and I get it. It's great to do your Christmas shopping early because that's what they would say. But like I personally could care less about the gifts. I care more about the time. Like I would have preferred to spend time with my family Thanksgiving instead of having them all take off near 10 or 11 because let's go Black Friday shopping, the early sales. I don't want to say that's a bad thing, but I just personally I don't like it. I just that's just how I feel.
Yeah, consumerism definitely has played a big deal into that. Before that, we didn't have to deal with that because Black Friday actually was on Black Friday. It didn't start on Thanksgiving afternoon, evening.
Right.
And every year since then, it has gotten earlier and earlier. At first, it was at 10 p.m., then it was like at 8 p.m., and then it turned to 6 p.m. I don't know what's the earliest time. And I don't know how Thanksgiving and Black Friday is going to be this year.
Yeah, that's a good point. I will also say that it is a shame to make people work Black Friday or leave their Thanksgiving dinners. I think that's really sad. It
Yeah, I
sucks,
agree.
you know? Because I would hate to have to do that, especially considering that, like, you know, I am in a way very attached to my family. A lot of people know this about me. Like, I'm super close to my family, our immediate family, and like our a little more distant family. I don't want to say I'm attached, like I can't leave them. That's not true. I can, but I just like that I do have this close knit relationship with them. So I will say that.
I was going to say, who needs friends? You have family. A family as big as ours, you don't need any friends at all. But it's nice to have friends too.
Not to diss any of our friends that listen.
Exactly. We love you. It's just we prefer to spend time with our family. And you should too.
Yeah, no, like last Thanksgiving, I was gonna invite a friend of mine to our Thanksgiving dinner, but she didn't want to go.
I totally would have loved having your friend. You talk to me about her and mention
Yeah.
things about her. I would say, hey, I'm down. What are you going to wear? I'll match you. I'll wear something different because it seems that we have similar vibes. I did not care if I did not match with my family. I will let your friend feel welcome.
Well,
But I think she also came up with plans.
yeah, she said she did make plans, I think, and she felt a little awkward being in like my family. But like I asked like our parents and everything, and they're like, it's fine. It was like it should be fine. I don't like we always have plenty of food. That's like not even in the question of whether we're gonna inconvenience people of like, oh, but we don't even have enough plates, or oh, we don't have enough seats, or we don't have enough food. Like that was never the issue.
We bring enough food to feed a small army. Every family member that brings food takes home their tray of food that they brought, but in leftover form.
That lasts like a couple days. Yeah.
There's like a bit of mashed potatoes, a bit of macaroni and cheese, a bunch of desserts, some slices of turkey, ham, and chicken because everyone made so much. So, yeah. What I'm going to miss the most is the possibility of taking a big family picture because that's one of the things that we would try to do, take a picture of everyone at the table.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of a picture like the way we do in our family reunion where we all line up. And I was like, we've never taken a picture like that.
There is a picture that we have taken similar, not lined up, but all bunched together
But
in
that's
someone's kitchen.
oh yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
7
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, but that's because the actual dinner table we didn't all sit at together. We kind of took turns because it was a smaller setup.
Yeah. We're going to miss our typical Thanksgiving
Yeah.
dinner. And I've also noticed that in the past couple of years, there have been people who have been drifting away because they're married. They have to give their other side of the family attention as well. And I'm not going to shame them. Good for you. You're trying to keep a balance. You know that we have other types of gatherings, so you're not going to miss out. But if you miss out on all of them, and then don't show up to Thanksgiving, that's where I will start questioning like, where are they? I haven't seen them. I haven't talked to them. How are they doing? What's going on in their lives? But we are fortunate enough that everyone is in relatively good health. Everyone is still pushing through despite the pandemic. And that's all I can say as far as what this year's Thanksgiving is going to look like.
Yeah, so I guess for us, if we're gonna like follow the same themes and traditions, what we would have to do is decide what we're gonna do for Christmas, because obviously, most likely, chances are we're not gonna see our family again for that holiday. And I actually really do kind of want to have this discussion. We don't have like our typical Christmas tradition or anything, apart from just spending time with our mom's side of the family. We don't have like, oh, we're always going to play a white elephant game. Oh, we're always going to bake cookies together. We're always going to do this. We're always going to do that. As of lately, we have hosted Christmas, and I don't know what it is, but I just love hosting like parties and things like that. I think it's part of my crafty side that I just like doing stuff. And
Yeah,
yeah.
I was going to elaborate, but I didn't want to interrupt. Yeah, I can see how your hosting side, you're a very outgoing and talkative person. You want to spend all the time with everyone else. Me, I'm more on the background end, but I get stuck in the cleaning aspect and the organization and making sure everyone's doing okay. So I don't like hosting in that kind of way.
I do the same things though.
Yeah, but you actually sit down and talk to people, and I don't. I find out all the information through you. I'll sit down and talk to you, but I can't do that with everyone else, which is sad for me.
You can, you just don't.
I feel like I don't have the social skills to talk to my own family.
You have some other personal levels that we shouldn't get into. That's just a you problem.
That is a me problem. But everyone has their own opinion with hosting. I love hosting. I love the decorating. I love the beforehand stuff. I don't like the aftermath.
Do you really? Because I find that you don't like helping me decorate. You don't like helping me do tasks.
I do.
I feel like you don't. You're always like complaining, I feel like. Or in the past, you've been complaining. I don't know. I haven't noticed so much recently. But like when I would have you help me decorate somewhere, I will say you do help at least, you know? But at times I feel like it's not at the same motivation level as mine.
Yeah, you're more ecstatic about it because you have the vision already in mind. And since I don't know what that vision is, I can't be on the same level. If you were to draw it out on a piece of paper and say, this is what I want it to look like, then I will be able to hype up to your level. But because you're only giving me bits and pieces, I get so confused and I'm like, okay, I'm helping you, but I don't know how this is going to come out.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. But yeah, I am a little sad. We're not gonna have our own like Thanksgiving party. But I actually would like to do some things I feel like most people do for like Christmas and stuff. When we usually decorate our Christmas tree, it's usually one person decorating it. It used to be our mom every year doing it on her own. Then for the longest time, it was me every year doing it kind of on my own. You would try to help me too.
I loved decorating the tree. I loved setting up the lights and everything. What I didn't like is just that sometimes either you or mom or someone would nitpick the placement of the ornaments, and that would just frustrate me because there's no system to put the ornaments on a tree. All you have to do is make it look festive.
Yeah, I get that, but sometimes you had way too many like items on a branch that clearly they could fall or break, and that's not convenient.
No, but it did take some time. And then when you were really busy, I did end up decorating because I saw a bare naked tree in the corner of the house and I was sad just looking at it being so naked that I wanted to dress it up.
I will also say I don't even know if we're gonna get a tree this year, if what we're gonna do exactly. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't not want to get a tree, but I've also been very conflicted about the idea of cutting down trees every year. So that's getting to me too. But I do know when you cut one down, most people usually plant multiple in its place. So that's good. But like I said, I'm conflicted, but I know that's personally what I want to do. So I've talked to Simon.
Mhm.
I've asked him, like, can we plant a tree wherever we move? That way, instead of buying one, we can already have one, and we're just gonna decorate it.
Our old place had one for a while.
Mm, that would be
We
cool.
had a tree close to the fence in the very back of the yard, and mom would also decorate that, put a little bit of ornaments. I don't think she would put lights, but some ornaments, a little bit of tinsel. And we had that before I think they chopped it down. I don't remember, to be honest. I was young. Yeah, so I think this is where we bring up what we would choose for decorating this year and whether if we do get a tree, would it be a real tree or would it be a store bought tree?
So I will say this: Dad has a fake tree in the storage that's very tall that we could use and decorate and just have it outside because it won't fit under our roof. And he's been wanting to actually take it out to actually use it as a decoration. And in the past, we've bought these really huge ornaments that we could have also put on this giant tree. So I would at least like to do that. Finally, put the tree out, maybe right outside our entrance uh in that little corner that's emptied, we can put it and actually have it like light up every night. Because I think that would bring some real holiday cheer for us.
Yeah.
Like every time we walk out the door or come back home from the store or anywhere, just seeing that would be really nice.
I would also be concerned about possible people wanting to steal that.
Well, I didn't say put it out in the lawn. I said right by the door. I'm pretty sure we would get notifications if people were right by our door.
That's true.
And everybody's home all the time, so
Yeah. Do you remember the year we had 2 Christmas trees?
yes.
Do you want to tell that story? Because I think that story is hilarious.
Our parents bought a Christmas tree and our neighbor gave us one. That's basically the story.
Yeah, it was hilarious in the sense that 3 kids, well, we weren't kids. I think I was already,
We were young.
we were younger. I think this was
True.
10 years ago.
Basically, our neighbor offered us a Christmas tree that he got or was gifted or somebody gave to him, but it was one of those Christmas trees that have the white fake snow on it, and we wanted that. So when he offered it to us, we were like, yeah, we'll take it. Even though our parents already bought it. Another one.
It was hilarious because we didn't even decorate our tree just yet. It was in the living room. Johnny, you and I were just getting home from school. I think I drove us home in that kind of case, mom was probably at work, and we took the tree that we had already purchased from the living room, put it in the backyard, left it there, and set up the white tree. And we rushed to start getting it decorated so that way they couldn't turn it down.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good tree. Well, I mean, I don't know what we did with the other one. I don't remember if we got rid of it or wait, did we give it to grandma and grandpa?
It's possible.
Because we always do that.
Because the thing is, grandma and grandpa also had one of those store bought Christmas trees every
Mm-hmm.
year. And
Yeah.
because we probably had that spare tree, we took it to them and they had a real tree for that year.
Have I ever talked on the podcast about what I want to do for my Christmas?
No.
Oh, can I?
This is the first time we're mentioning the holidays at all.
Can I? Because I love talking about what I want to do, and I really like to do this one day. And I'm actually using this podcast as an outlet to like eventually one day, hopefully my family's listening, all my family members are listening, or if any of them do listen to this, they'll have that mental note of like, oh, this is what she's wanted, and maybe slowly start doing it. And then obviously if people take notice, they'll eventually do it. So I have talked about how whenever I have my own home or house or am on my own, I would like to host a Christmas gathering. I don't know if it's going to be Christmas Eve or day or whatever, but I would eventually like to have, hopefully in a home, so that way everybody can fit. I would like to have everybody celebrate Christmas at my home, and I would request, instead of purchasing gifts, to purchase ornaments. I love Christmas. I really do. I like everything about it for the most part. And as of lately, I've been like stepping back from unnecessary gift giving. I've been finding value in, instead of getting, oh, I got 20 presents this year that I don't really care about, I really appreciate the 5 presents I get, one from everybody in my family, that actually are things that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me they're usually my favorite gifts, the ones from my immediate family, because one, they know me best, and two, sometimes they straight up just ask me what I want, and I just tell them, I don't want to buy this, but you can buy it for me.
Yeah. Like the headphones you're wearing,
Yeah.
or the box that we gave you, or even a label maker, which was the most weirdest gift you can ask for.
I can't believe I didn't even ask for it. I've just always wanted it, and I when you guys asked me what I wanted, I completely forgot that I've been wanting a label maker, and my brother bought me a label maker with the refill things to give me more incentive of labeling. And now I use it. I don't use it all the time, but I use it for like multiple things.
My favorite gift that I gave you, and it's the most hilarious gift that I have given you. Do you know what it is?
Is it the box?
No.
What?
The mini vacuum.
Oh, yeah, I still have it.
I bought that as a gag. I bought something else with it. I think I gave you clothes or something like that. I don't think you even liked the clothes. We ended up probably returning them because they didn't fit you or something.
I don't remember what you bought me with it.
But I remember buying new clothes, and then I saw the world's mini vacuum on sale, maybe at a game store or something like that. It was so cheap. It was like maybe $5. And I remember you saying that you wanted it, and in your eyes, you can see the sparkle of the potential you can have with that mini vacuum.
Yeah.
I had thought, you know what, I'm just going to get it. It's $5. I already met my budget because I have a mental budget. I want to spend an equal amount of money per family member. So I had that mentality already. And I'm like, okay, $5 extra is fine because it balances out. I gave it to you, and you were so happy at the fact that you saw the mini vacuum, because I did not want to buy that for you the first time you wanted it.
Yeah. I remember, I think Johnny said he talked you into it. He was like, just get it for her. She already told you she wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's little things like that. Those little things make me happy like that. If I said I wanted one thing and I forget about it, I usually do mean what I say when I say that I like some things. So it's pretty easy to, I think, to shop for me. But like I was saying, I want to host eventually Christmas at my home. And that year I would ask for no presents. As I would like to say every year, I if you guys don't get me presents, that's 100% fine. Like I don't need anything. Usually the things I need, people get for me if I really need it. Or I mean I could get for myself as well, but I usually don't I don't need things to that extent.
Hmm.
Also, Simon's parents, their gift giving strategy is just buying the necessities. So like, shirts, socks, underwear, jeans, belts, anything you need out of like necessity, they buy. So if I ever need socks, they usually buy me socks. If I ever need anything like that, they're usually the ones that like, you know what, I could use some new white t-shirts. They'd buy me them. So I don't usually need things like that. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Everybody needs it, but I want to have the family get ornaments, but not just any ornament that you find, an ornament that one either speaks to you because it reminds you of something that has happened with the family. You can make a custom ornament. Like, I really don't care, but I personally would remember who gave me the ornament, and that's why it would be special to me. But I would like it to either represent what they think I like or who I am, what they think would represent them. So, like, for example, I'm going to say Simon, he's a mechanic. So, if he finds like a little car ornament, he could gift it to me. He's like, this is a car, so you can remember me by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I would buy a car ornament and gift it to Simon to say, hey, this is a car ornament because you're a mechanic. So I would like things like that. Anything that speaks to you, basically.
I think the best way for that to happen, though, is step outside of your own comfort zone and see what other places you can buy ornaments from. Because many of the ornaments, you buy them at a regular capitalist store that manufactures multiples of the same ornament in a set. You would actually have to look for a holiday store that has probably unique, also manufactured ornaments, but it's going to be harder to find it in a set, and you can buy the individual one.
Well, you can buy individual ornaments at Target, but I wouldn't care as long as, like I said, it speaks to you. It's not just like, oh, I found this chickmunk at Target. Here you go. you know?
I have an idea.
It's like, oh, I got you this chickmunk because you're nutty. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be creative and you gotta tell me these things. Because to me, that would make me laugh. And then I'd be like, oh my God, that's so funny. Like, even if you picked a random ornament and like found a way to relate it, like that's what I want.
How about also, instead of having them gift you an ornament, they decorate their own ornament in the party to decorate your tree that day?
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. So I would lightly decorate my tree, most likely with lights, just because you need lights, and maybe a couple ornaments, but not too many, because having all my family members most likely gift me an ornament, I would have them, once they gift it to me, put it on the tree. So it would be like a way of getting everybody to decorate my tree together, which to me would also add that element of like, wow, this is family bonding. This is really nice. And I would invite anybody to gift each other ornaments that they could then down the line decorate their tree with.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole point of me wanting to do that is because I do love Christmas. I would like to grow my collection of ornaments, but I don't want to buy expensive ornaments. Like $5 for an ornament here, $5 for an ornament there. That adds up. But spending $5 to gift a person an ornament doesn't hurt me as much as buying myself 10 $5 ornaments, but for myself.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I would want to do it. And like I said, it doesn't have to be even purchased. You can make it, because knowing me, I would just buy a bunch of supplies and make ornaments for people that mean something to them. So I would buy like a bunch of little like wood pieces and wood glue and maybe even some like finishing nails just to like make sure it's secure. Like I have plenty of ideas and I am 100% down for gifting people ornaments, which is kind of what I would like to do this year, even though we're not most likely going to see our family. I'd like to either make their family individual little ornaments of them or something I think represents them and
Mhm.
gift them to them, like just drop it out at their house and be like, although we can't spend time together, here is a little gift from me to you. So I would like to do that too.
I would like to bake cookies and deliver cookies with those ornament gifts as well.
Yeah, but this will be a couple weeks from now before we actually have time to start doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's good to start planning right now. It's the first week of November when we are recording this. This episode will release the week before Thanksgiving,
Right.
most likely. So we are either planning really ahead of time or really behind, depending on our resources and time.
I think it would be pretty easy to do these things. One, because I already have the mental pictures in my head. And two, we could very easily buy these things and get started on making them. But like I said, I wouldn't have the time to start making anything until I'm done with school.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that the global pandemic and the holidays, yeah, we're looking forward to them, but it's going to be really, really modified and it might feel more isolating in a sense. Yeah, you're still spending time with your immediate family members, but you won't have those interactions. So I'm curious to see if there's a way for us to still have the interactions we would normally have with our family around Christmas, but virtually.
We can! I have an idea. We can make a. Sorry, I got excited the way you're bringing it up. We can make little kits of like, let's bake cookies together and just buy all the ingredients and drop them off with our expected gifts and stuff. That way we can say, don't open. We'll have a card being like, hey, I know we can't spend the holidays together, but we would love to have virtual meeting with everybody. Can we spend maybe an hour or two opening the gift box that we send so we can see their reactions together? And then possibly bake cookies together that we can eat afterwards. That way, we had our little moment together as a family to at least see each other. You're writing an awful lot there.
Um, that's actually a good idea. Coming up with a Christmas party kit.
Yeah, and
That's what I
like
called it.
activity. Yeah, and like it's basically like an activity kit where we build gingerbread houses together or decorate gingerbread cookies together.
I like it.
Hmm.
You know, one decoration that I want to try out, maybe this year, maybe not.
Decoration?
Yes,
What?
the popcorn string.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I would like to do that too, but we buy buttered popcorn. I know we used to have the popcorn. What is it called? The stove one, the one that we had on the stove,
Mhm.
where you could just make popcorn kernels and make your popcorn. We could just do that. We used to have one, but then we, I think, got rid of it or it
You
broke.
can still make it.
Yeah, we can still make it, but like we were more opted to when we had the
The machine.
product. Yeah, the product to actually make it because it was actually pretty good at distributing the popcorn kernels as opposed to if you're just stirring with the spoon and then they start popping at you.
You have to cover it and avoid getting hit by the oil. Yep, I remember that. I want to buy another one of those, but we don't have space for that either.
We don't. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like we would have to make them without any like butter or salt or other stuff.
I am perfectly fine with doing that. Let's do it. I will make them the day or two before Christmas so we can put that on the tree in time for the day of Christmas.
Also, mom had a plan of decorating the tree a certain way also. So I'm not sure popcorn thing what is it?
String.
Yeah. The string of popcorn wouldn't go well with what mom's planning on decorating the tree with. Maybe get like a mini tree.
And have it be completely covered in popcorn.
No, it is. I mean, because I made a mini tree out of a giant pine cone. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we talked a little bit about Thanksgiving and we brought up how we would like to do stuff for Christmas. For those that are actually listening, our family that will most likely get these packages if we do create them, don't get too excited. Don't share this information if anyone else in your family hasn't been listening. Make it a surprise for them. But yeah, you can tell them that I want ornaments if you ever if you ever are asked what to get me for Christmas down the line. I would love an ornament. Refer to this podcast for that. But yeah, I would really like to start doing that. Getting ornaments or even gifting ornaments. I mean, maybe people won't appreciate them as much as I would, but maybe down the line they will. That's what I would like to do. And the reason I think I kind of started coming up with that is because Johnny and I bought mom ornaments, like individual ornaments that we found. And I remember thinking like this is a good idea. I really like birds, so like I was like picking a bunch of different birds for like mom, and I think mom likes birds too, to be honest with you, which is why we have like the little hummingbird feeder and everything too. I really like hummingbird. But like apart from that, any kind of like little ornament or gift that we would select and gift to mom, I thought was like really nice, especially since individual ornaments sometimes tend to be like nicer ones.
I think this holiday season is going to be very interesting in the sense of how shopping for gifts is going to be, how are the stores going to be enforcing the social distancing regulations, if we're probably going to be heavily depending on purchasing our gifts online, then how will that affect when we are going to be getting the gifts. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration.
How you're going to be getting the gifts? What do you mean?
How, meaning the gifts are going to be coming in a package, if they're going to come in those envelopes of some sort, will it be easier for you to wrap them? Will they come in time, or will they come in later, if that makes sense?
Are you saying like if we're purchasing online gifts?
Yes.
I see. Well, like I said, I think we should wait until by the time this video comes out next week to find out when we talk to our parents what we should do for the holidays. I would suggest talking to them that early because if we need to slowly start going to the stores, or if we, because I know some stores are open, or if we should just solely purchase things online for each other and then see how we're going to do it. I personally don't like the idea of like purchasing everything online. I don't like depending on purchasing online just because of shipping and everything. But if we've already been doing it for the most part typically, and usually the places I like getting gifts from are usually really conscious of how they're shipping everything. So we would just have to talk to mom and dad to see what they think would be the best option or what we should do, or even if we should just call our family and decide if we're going to do like a long distance gift exchange, which I don't think will be the case because it'd be kind of hard.
Yeah, I think that's another thing for us to take into consideration, because if we're going to be buying gifts for our external family members, usually we dedicate an entire weekend. We go to outlets or certain areas where there's a bunch of stores and we split up and focus on specific family and all of that. So this year,
The outlets are still open.
they are still open. They are limiting how many people go in. And our family, our size, which is 5 people that can go in and shop, probably 4 of us will actually go in. The other one will stay at home, something like that. I don't know how that's gonna go. I think that's a really good thing for us to start documenting as well, though.
What?
Shopping for the holidays during the pandemic.
But that's if we're gonna go externally shopping or if we're actually just gonna purchase things online.
Both is going to be an interesting thing to document.
Why? Buying online is everybody does it. It's just the safe
Yes,
basic buying online.
But maybe the stress of it coming in time, coming in intact, if it's something that's fragile.
If it's just for our immediate family, we don't care if we arrive, if we get things late. We've given mom gifts late, like, oh, we bought you something, but we kind of bought it late, so you're gonna get it in like in 2 days.
Yeah.
I would like to say, like, to us, that doesn't really matter. Where it's not like so much about like, oh, you have to give it to me on Christmas, or else you didn't buy me a Christmas gift. We don't care.
I remember one year where we had bought in a gift for you and it was on back order for the longest time. And we had expected it to come in after Christmas and we were preparing a card to give it to you. And it came in the day before Christmas that dad's like, Kim, wrap this really quickly and put it under the tree and take away the card that I was going to print or something like that. And I was like, why? What's the rush? She's like, this is the gift I have been waiting for Cindy, and it's been in back order forever. That I wrapped it, put it in, and Dad told us a story about how he was stressed out on getting that specific item. I don't even remember what it was, to be honest.
It was a tablet.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the first tablet he gifted me because years ago, mom and dad bought a laptop for you and I to share, but you would always use. And whenever I wanted to use it, I had to basically ask you to get off of the laptop. I never really complained because I didn't have like a necessity all that much to use a laptop, which is why I think he eventually, when tablets started coming out, he decided to buy me a tablet. And he bought me like one of like very early generation tablets that, to be honest, it was pretty cool. Like, it was a very nice thoughtful gift, I would like to say, but I wasn't so into electronics that I didn't get to use it to like its full extent compared to my newer tablet that I ended up getting down the line, because for whatever reason my tablet had trouble connecting to the internet after some time. I used to use it for like YouTube videos all the time, which is still what I would use any tablet for. And then I would get little games on it to like play, but eventually it had issues connecting to the internet, so I stopped using it. And then I eventually got a different tablet. That one I still have. It still connects. It still works. I just don't use them as often as I do anything else because our phones are basically tablets that we could use.
Yeah.
But I will say that when I do want to watch something and a little bit of a bigger screen, I do opt to turn on my tablet and use it, even if I have to charge it while I'm using it. But it's typically somewhat charged. But that's what it was. I even remember the package arriving and I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" And he was like, "Nothing. It's for me." And I was like, "Okay, fine. That's cool." And
Make it very obvious that it's not for him.
well, no, it was for him. It was like addressed to him. But like, I'm just like a curious person usually, and I'm like, oh, I usually know, like, oh, Kim's expecting a package from ThreadUp today. Johnny's expecting candy in today because Johnny sometimes buys candy online. He's so funny.
And I think that's when online shopping became more popular because we didn't shop
Especially
online before that.
for us. Yeah. We usually bought things in person. We've gotten used to online shopping though, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. Like, our mom buys things, asks us to buy her things online because the sizes she needs them in aren't available in store in the size she wants or the color she wants. So she often knows, she learns the size she needs them in, but they just aren't available in person. So she's either goes in store and asks them to purchase them and have them shipped to the house, or she asks us to purchase them and have it shipped to the house.
Yeah, man. I'm getting excited for the holidays now. I haven't realized how much time has passed during this pandemic. I still feel that it's summer.
Well, I mean, it is hot. And
Yeah.
the only like technically holiday to like make you feel like time's actually passing would have been to celebrate anything for Halloween, but we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
We didn't even like decorate or do anything. And I
No.
know some of our family I think had a party or something for Halloween. And that would have been more of like a marker to help realize that time has passed and it's a little harder to do.
We spent Halloween at home or you at Simon's house. And we didn't do anything. People didn't come knocking at a door for candy. It's just been hard to realize how much time this year has passed and just how much closer we are to the end of the year. It's hard to get excited for, but then can sneak up on you very, very easily.
Yeah, I was gonna say that mom has also stated how time has been flying, and it's like the end of the year, which is basically we're gonna approach a year that we've been in like quarantine, which is crazy to think of because we started quarantine in March, mid March. That's when it started for us. So that was unexpected. And for me personally, I'm still not going to be in school next semester. I think they've already announced that it's going to be all virtual again.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a bummer because you can't even go back to reality.
Hmm.
And I will say that most likely things aren't going to go back to reality. Everything is going to be changed. Some people will still probably always be wearing masks now just because, being safe. Whereas other people would love to go back to reality and just forget everything has happened. But nothing's going to be the same. There's most likely always going to be people at the grocery stores with those little shields in front of you because there is a possibility. And everything really truly has changed. People have picked up virtual learning. Who knows? This may be the norm for some students, And that's a little unfortunate because I know for a fact that some people sleep during class. So not personally from like my peers, but like our family who are younger. I've seen
I've
I've
seen that
seen and
too.
heard that some people are just like, look at this kid, he's in class but he's sleeping. So I
You know who you are.
yeah, I know you listen to our podcast. I heard you've been sleeping during class.
Pay attention.
Yeah, it's important because I mean, how far can you get if you're not learning material? If you're always pretending to listen to class without actually absorbing the knowledge, you're just going to stop. I feel like unfortunately this virtual learning, although it's nice, it's like you can be anywhere while you're learning, but if you were forced into this virtual learning style and it's not for you, you're not going to learn. Because I can very easily say that I am very easily distracted with this virtual learning, and it is a problem where I could be on my phone, although technically some professors often state in the syllabus, please don't be on your phone while you're in class. But sometimes it's hard. Like people call me while I'm in class and I have to answer and be like, hey, I'm in class, I can't talk right now. So there is a little bit of that conflict. And especially being at home with all five of us, there is times where our parents don't know that or acknowledge that we're in class. We have to deal with them being loud and not being able to hear. I sometimes raise the volume really loud while people are talking before they actually realize that I'm actually still in class, you know? So it is a little bit of an issue. And I know a lot of people probably don't have the same issues we do, but for us, that's what we're facing.
Yeah. It's a struggle all the way through, not just us, anyone, any age. We're all struggling. And I guess with the holidays coming in and the year coming to a close, we can have a mini celebration in this and relish in the fact that we were able to survive this year with so many hurdles thrown our way, with work, with school, with our family, with the people around us as well. It's something that we can learn to appreciate.
Yeah, that is a good point to like I feel like a lot of people often say how they aren't going to acknowledge that 2020 ever existed because just the months kept passing and you just weren't able to do much.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get it. That's a really good point, but you can't ignore a year even though not much happened. I mean, not much happened where, like, every day, if you think of the year before 2020, every day was different. Every month that passed, you noticed a difference. You were doing different things, whether if it were going to a movie theater to watch a movie that just came out. Now we're at home watching the movies that are now, what is it, theater at home, or what is it, at home theater movies.
I think so. I don't know.
I don't
I
know,
haven't
but
checked.
basically where you pay for the movie to either rent it just to watch it once or to buy it to watch it multiple times. So it is different. Like those little things you used to do, like even going out to dinner to eat at a restaurant and actually in a restaurant. Now you can do, but it would be outdoors because that's how most people are doing it. So that's a little unfortunate, and that's I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna change, but I'm going to say that most likely the end of quarantine has to be gradual because otherwise everybody is going to want to get out there. That's why I don't know how things are going to occur during the holidays cuz we can't all run to the stores at the same time.
No,
So,
not at all.
I don't know what's going to happen. Anyways, best of luck to all you people who would like to go to the stores and shopping. I personally don't think that's what we're going to do. We'll most likely stick to online shopping just because we usually do that when we're being considerate of the things that we want for each other because we usually know what we want. Or we would go to like one or two stores to buy one item. We wouldn't be there for too long, first of all. And then, second of all, it would be rather quick. I don't know.
I think we, as shoppers for each other, have an idea in mind and go to the store with a mission. We're not there to explore and look around. We are going to just get what it is that we wanted to get. And if we find something along the way, then good. But we're not going to spend longer than we need to spend there because we know the risks that are out there. And I think our father conditioned us to do that as well. He goes into the store with an idea in mind on who to shop for and leaves the store with that. And if he finds some stuff that or check other people off the list, then great. And if not, at least he got what he wanted to get at that store.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's really good at like getting things for our mom. Like, cause I used to be the one that would go Christmas shopping with him for our mom, and he would like very quickly go to a section and be like, here, this, and then we would pick and choose. Like, oh, looking at this the second time, I don't like it. Looking at this, yeah, I like this. He was pretty quick for things like that.
I remember Dad saying that he was going to go to work and get out of work early just so he can go shopping. But he didn't even go to work. He would go wake up early like he was going to work and go to the store that was open for 24 hours. I think that's what's going to end up happening. The stores are going to be open much longer to accommodate gradual people coming in. Anyway, and he would go to the store expecting to spend maybe 4 hours at the store, only be there for 2 hours. He would go cut his hair, go run some errands for himself, make it seem that he went to work, and then come home and say, oh, I got off of work early and I went to go cut my hair, but here I am, I'm home now.
Yeah, no, I do remember him doing that because when he would do that, we were still kind of young, so we wouldn't be able to go do the shopping for him. And we hadn't really at all gotten into online shopping, partially because we didn't know it was a thing. And also, we didn't have cards, debit cards, credit cards, or anything to be making purchases like that.
Nope.
Now that we're all grown, it's kind of what we do.
Yep. But I think that's all we can talk about for today's episode. We have some more things that we can talk about next time. But thank you all for listening to another episode of a Playful Escape podcast. Make sure you all follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. Our username for all of the social media handles is going to be A Playful Escape. Send us an email at aplayfulescape@gmail.com. Let us know what are some of your holiday traditions that you want us to share on the podcast. What are your hopes for the holidays with the pandemic happening? Talk to us. Let us know if there's anything else that you want us to talk about. And if you want to access some bonus footage and bonus content, make sure to support us on Patreon. We finally have that set up and you can be able to support us on Patreon and see some behind the scene footage, some extra content, maybe things that we're only going to release to Patreon.
How long have we been talking about Patreon without actually having it functioning yet?
A bit too long, but now it's up. We're getting there. We are finally figuring things out.
Yeah, and I did want to just end by saying I hope everybody does have a happy Thanksgiving next week. I hope you all enjoy your family time. I'm sorry that you can't spend time with certain family members, but I'm wishing all of you best wishes. Hope everything's good, and I'm just hoping everybody enjoys their beginnings of the holidays.
Nicely said. Until next time, bye.
Bye.